Welcome back to the show where we try to get rich, pulling oil out of the ground, selling it to Euro Mexico. Alright, so what's the population situation? We've got 160 homeless people, 600 unemployed, 2,000 without any education. Ugh, it was awful. Yeah, so it goes. Alright. I'm gonna buy another train. So, we've got a new diesel locomotive option. The M62 from the Ukraine. It is faster and more powerful. Oh, not more powerful. It is so painfully close to the Su-45. It's like, what? Did you just steal the designs after 15 years of production? And then they keep making it until 2001, where Poland gives up in 1993. Well, just for solidarity purposes, we'll keep... Oh man, I can't afford... Well, alright, there we go. 2 oil trains in a row, that's what we need. We need a long line coming down here of oil trains waiting to deliver. That's what I want to see. Well, sort of. No, I don't. I want the perfectly timed, synchronous movement of trains moving through. But I take a lineup of people trying to deliver as well. All right, so our storage facility is regularly getting cleaned out, which is nice. It means that all of our workers at our clothing factory are making clothing that's being exported, which is nice. Our bread delivery truck is returning to pick up more bread while still having bread, which is a good sign. It means that all the grocery stores are full and fat. I don't quite understand how this all works. But there, I've turned down the amount of electronics we carry. I don't have a radio station at the moment anyways, so it's not as if they're listening to anything useful on their wireless sets. Last chance to buy. Ooh, what outdated train is for sale? What? Bizarre. Yeah, we're not quite uber rich. We're getting closer to it. Where's my trains at? Come on, guys. There we go. Let's take a gander at the pollution that we're causing. Oh, dear Lord. This is why this town is not long for this game. The whole thing's gone red. I planted so many trees. The bitumen power plant produces no pollution. It's perfectly green. Warms my fuzzy little heart. Alright. So, let's take a gander what's going on out here. Very happy with how I've messed around with the trains while you weren't watching, and while it looks like a bit of gobbledygook right now, and in all honesty, it is, and could probably be cleaned up a fair bit, none of the lines have to directly cross over one another. The only places where lines cross each other is in tunnels, which is very good for keeping trains moving. You don't want trains waiting at intersections. It is possible when a train coming from down this line and out this line could wish to join onto this line at near the same time, and in that situation one of them would have to stop and wait for the other. But that's the only way it happens, is when two lines become one. Or three lines, because there's three lines here and they all converge here. They'll all be returning to town, which will be built just south. In here, I will build a town, and I will likely build one on the other side, right in here. Depending, I guess, where's that pollution filter? Nope. Here. What's the pollution like? Ooh. What's the pollution like? Oh, yes. Makes nothing but sense to me. Well, anyways, it turns back to green before the water, so we'll build a town over here. We'll have two main cities for this map. Here and here. And we won't have much of anything in this big, vast prairie, except maybe small towns and farming communities. Be interesting to see how much tonnage of crop could be produced in this large unlit area. Look how... Next time I play, I'm not playing with the night settings, although it is useful to come over here and look for flickering lights to make sure that I'm not suffering any brownouts. Not flickering. Ooh, the sun's about to come up. Don't have long to check for flickering lights. That looks okay. So, any freight, they'd be empty, I suppose. Although, yeah, the idea is to have the industrial section be fed in through here and then loop in and come out, well, somewhere before here. Somewhere in this area. And then if you have... Oh, I wonder... I may just have the industrial section fed by a tunnel. I don't see why I wouldn't just do this. So, the coal and iron come down along here, come out, loop in, get processed, turned into whatever it is, and then the empty trains will come back and just drive underneath here and pop out here and then rejoin this freight track here. Perfect. I like it. It's great. It's also why it's nice to draw these things out ahead of time, because then you can change your mind. You might suffer some kind of inspiration. Let's flatten out some space. Everything in this game is so much easier when you flatten out the space. I'm gonna redo those power lines in a second. Alright. And where is my tunnel? Yeah. We swell. That's swell, mister. paused. This game never needs to be paused. Aww. Why does that do that? It's so... whatever. Oh, it fixed it. Good. Good, good. Alright, so that's set up. So yeah, the industrial area, that's pretty long. It doesn't need to be that wide. So it can be... And it can expand over further this way. This is how the trains will go back. So the trains come down here and along here and pick up iron and then loop back here underneath and back out to the industrial section. Or if you're a coal train, you would take this rightmost track and bypass this whole thing on this way by and then come up along here to pick up some coal before looping out underneath through this tunnel and then back up onto the main line and then dropping down here and then back out. And that's the way the industrial loops. So let's get back to buying more trains. Where is the oil wagon? There we are. Set up? It is not set up. Pick up oil. Drop off oil. And that is what you'll do for the rest of your life. I have not looked into the logging. I work in the forestry industry. Oh no, wait, it's an excavator? I thought that was... To my mind, this looked like a tree mover. Lots of bread in the bread factory. Which isn't really what you want. I mean, I guess that means I could export more. Why not? Sell more bread. I wonder how much bread I need to sell in order to pay for the truck that delivers it. Let alone all the other associated costs with the bread. Did I say bread factory? I did not intend bread factory. Actually, yeah, you can just go pick up from here. Because then it'll pick up... Oh, that's great. Yeah, he'll pick up anything. He'll pick up bread and clothing. So, Seatown Large Custom Hub. Oh, have I done this badly? Now start. There we go. What are you picking up here? Clothing? How about you pick up clothing and bread next time? Wait, where do you deliver to? Small store. Oh, well, I am a fool. Although, you want to have separate trucks for each things. If you tell one truck to deliver bread and clothing, eventually you end up with a bread, or a truck full of bread, and it never gets clothing loaded onto it, and then clothing never gets delivered to the store. So you really want each truck in charge of one item. But one truck can service many stores. But, again, this truck is only doing runs back and forth to the border. Should I add a border road? Is there room to sneak in a border road? A sneaky back road? Oh, there may well be. Oh, look at this. Look at that. Oh, is that too steep? Look at that building. Up and at 'em. go. And we'll pay cash for that dirt road. I bet that will make that truck driver's day. Why would you want to drive through the downtown when you could just take the long way around? Yeah, they're already starting to use it. Alright, let's put those trees back. We don't want to lose our Vermont aesthetic. Why is it not laying more trees down? I'm not seeing like hard. Am I just not seeing them? Huh. I guess they don't like to be too close to the road. Nice. Oh, he's taking this way to the small store. So he's driving around to the back, going to the small store, and then driving here, and then won't fault him for that. Food there. Because that way he'll get bread as well. Had I laid this out better, this thing would have fed into here, and they could have just made bread for days. Nice. So the small grocery store has more capacity for food than the small shopping center, despite the small shopping center being easily 4 times the size. And I mean, I guess they have... No, they've both got a ton of meat storage. The only difference is that they hold electronics as well, but these small stores, I think I like the small stores better than the big stores. Again, the biggest store is handy because of how long it is, and long buildings can be more easily accessed by a large variety of people. So if I sat it here, people up here and people down here would be able to reach it, as opposed to a small store, which would be more difficult to get to, if that makes any sense. I'm not sure I explained that very well. I can explain, though, the need for more cargo wagons to buy more oil so we can stop importing it. Are we anywhere near? No, we're still importing tons and tons of oil. On hard mode, they should be making me drive it in or import it. I should be having to pick it up in Seatown and bring it to the refinery myself. It can't just magically appear poured from heaven. Doesn't make any sense. I don't even want to know how many homeless we have. 140. That seems like few. Did I build another warehouse, or did people start escaping? No, some people have escaped since last I looked. 700 of them. People don't like the state, and they like the church. Oh, we need a radio station. I could build a radio station here. But now it requires a lot of people. I kind of like building the radio stations on the edge of the main town. What? Building is without power. Did I destroy the power? Building is without power. I must have destroyed the power. I thought my money supply Oh, for lordy. Of course. How long has that been like that? That's embarrassing. Well, at least the new oil rig. I guess this is really what I should be putting my money into. Although, trains and this need to upgrade in tandem. This does seem like a pretty good time to be investing my last $7,000 in oil pipeline. All of this just to service this. Reminds me of my hometown. My hometown's a potash town, and if it wasn't for digging potash out of the earth, the whole place wouldn't exist. So I guess free market economies aren't so different from centrally planned ones. And on that note, I will say adieu. Thank you for watching, and we'll be back next time, hopefully with a little bit more money saved up, and a few more trains, and a completed oil field, so that we won't be doing so much sitting around and waiting for the coffers to fill. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.